I'm a little young, but you don't know what I've become. Can't you see it in my face? But even living in disguise, but you can see the killer in my eyes. I've got a look you can't escape. 僕の未来は誰にもわからない。皆は僕をダメなやつと思う。鏡を見つめる僕を見下げているけど中には大きな力希望がある。 Maybe I'm a little young, but you don't know what I become. Can't you see it in my face? A demon living in disguise, but you can see the killer in my eyes. I've got a look you can't escape. You can't escape.
And we're live. How we going, everybody? This is
Hey, everybody.
Hey, we got Green Pants here again as our special guest star. This is welcome to the segment OK Seriously, where you ask the questions, we give you answers, and hoping we can help some people out today. The standard disclaimer that we are not experts or professionals in any way, shape, or form for anything we're going to talk about tonight. So don't act on our advice if it's gonna hurt. If it's
I mean,
gonna
well,
cause
you can act on our advice
Yes.
if you would like, but we are not responsible for anything that may happen as a result of you acting on it.
yes,
So,
correct.
listener, beware.
All disclaimers.
Although most of our advice I have tried out personally, and I cannot recommend most of it.
But you're here you're still here to tell the tale, so that's something.
Right? Is exactly. I'm sharing wisdom.
Yes.
This is that's what this is all about.
That's great. All right.
Once
cool.
again, I find myself here. I'm so excited. All right.
Actually, well, it's, again, always a pleasure to have you. So we have 5 questions that we've pruned from our vast input of questions this evening. So we're gonna jump right into those.
All
So
right.
let's see what we got first. All right, Green Fans, here we go. So the first one is from Mortimer from Spread Eagle, Wisconsin. Asks, "What are your thoughts on bucket lists? Are they useful checklists for our lives to give them meaning, or just a waste of time thinking about the future?" Bucket list.
Okay. All right. Yeah, this is one of those weird cultural phenomena where we give a name to something that already has a name. Like, what's the difference between a bucket list and list of shit I want to do before I die? Like, because I guess it's because like you're gonna kick the bucket, so it's a list of things I want to do before I kick the bucket. So
Yeah.
see, I have added new life to this concept by putting the word bucket before the word list.
I see.
To me, it was like that movie came out. I just don't understand why.
What was the
Really,
movie?
I mean, the bucket list.
Oh, was it
It
really?
was with Morgan Freeman. Yeah. The way I always thought about it was, it's a bucket. It's a list of things you want to do before you kick the bucket.
Oh, I saw
it's
that
a
movie
map.
now, Morgan Freeman, and he had his buddy in the hospital bed next to him and stuff, and they would talk.
Exactly.
I saw that one.
Right.
It was good.
Well, every time I think of that, I think of like it's this mat where you can jump to conclusions, like from
Jumping to
from Office
conclusions.
Conclusions, Matt. Yeah. It's just like the bucket list. I mean, I don't know. Like I can appreciate having a checklist of things that you want to do before you kick the bucket.
Yep.
But like I question whether or not your life is somehow less worthwhile if you never went up in that freaking hot air balloon or free climbed Mount El Capitan or something.
Right.
I think, I think making a list of things that you are requiring yourself to do it's not like it's a waste of time as much as it's like you're adding pointless additional effort for no discernible gain.
And stress. Do you think it adds stress?
Yeah,
Your life?
because
Yeah.
now it's like, oh, I didn't have a chance to do this. I don't, like, oh, I never filled my dream. It's like,
Right.
you know what? That's why I think it's much better to just do the day-to-day thing, like, not see. I don't have to say seize the day, but just like get through the fucking day.
Yeah. What's that in Latin? Carpe diem is seize it. What is get through
Right.
it?
I just want get through a rotation. That's all I
Yes,
want.
Make it
If
so
I
the
can get
sun.
through that rotation.
There we go. Bam. Nailed it.
Boom. Yeah, exactly. Crushing it.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, and I wonder too if, well, I think some of this, I don't want to get all morbid, but depends on your sort of your personal views of like, the afterlife and stuff, right? Because if you think there is no such thing and you're just the result of a biological process, doesn't matter what the fuck you've done. If you're dead anyway, you're not gonna.
No,
There's
it
no
doesn't.
There's no you
Doesn't
to
matter.
remember.
We've been over this.
Matter.
Nothing matters. All we're doing is biding time before eternal nothingness.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. This is what we do all day.
That's what we do. Yes.
Like, as human beings, we pretend we have significance. We converse with one another. We come up with ideas and
Yes.
things, and we
Yes.
create societies. And then eventually, it all goes to nothing.
So literally, that's the waste of time. It's the whole thing in between birth and the oblivion.
This whole concept of life is sort of a giant waste, isn't it? I mean, really, I guess.
I mean, that is a view. Yes,
Burn it all down now. Yeah.
that is a
I mean, if
view.
we're being totally honest, I mean, come on.
Right.
All of this is pointless.
All right,
Like,
I'm
what am I doing?
like,
I got it.
flip the table.
I got a fucking Lego typewriter behind me. I mean, what am I doing with my life?
What is even that? You spent time doing that, right?
I spent huge amounts of time putting together a typewriter that does not operate as a typewriter that's made out of a toy called Lego.
And
I did that.
And constructing a typewriter, an era of computers where a typewriter should no longer be necessary.
Correct. And I did it because it's nostalgic
Right.
for a previous time. As a species, we make no sense. We make absolutely no sense. So,
Okay, I will point
you know what?
out.
Bucket list. Go ahead.
I will point out that that I think the general idea, like instead of like a stress list, like oh my god, I gotta do all this shit before I die, is kind of like what would I feel to give my life perceived meaning? I'll use the word perceived in respect of the discussion we just had.
Right.
And bring you happiness and fulfillment, because for the time you are here, you might as well be happy, right? So what things would you want to do to make you happy? And the thing is, like, if you're
that are within reason that you're able to obtain.
afford and obtain, and not otherwise stress or inconvenience your life, right? That's the key things,
Right.
Because I think the thing is, like, okay, fine, yeah, when you're dead, it's a different story. But like, if you wind up in a, they talk about the deathbed, where you're not dead but you're dying, you don't necessarily want that to be a completely miserable experience where you look back on your life and saying, oh my god, I've accomplished nothing and I've wasted everything, that kind of thing.
No, I would hope to be on really, really good drugs. Like, at that point.
That too, sure.
Yeah. You just, in general, at all times, I would rather be on really, really good drugs.
Yes.
Just as a general, just a kind of a, that's safe to say.
Fair. All right, cool. So I hope that answers your question, Mortimer. So let's head to our next one. All right, what do we got here?
Mortimer, do what you need to do, Mortimer. Don't worry about, just don't get caught up on what to call it.
Thank you. I agree. Just live a happy, fulfilling life, and don't get stressed about it. Don't think you have to have a checklist or any of that. It's the path to madness. All right, here we go. Our next question comes from Rachel from.
All right.
I'm reading this title. I'm reading this town name. I don't know if it's right. Rachel from Hornytown, North Carolina. That cannot be a place.
That absolutely can be. That can be.
Hornytown, North Carolina.
We live in a world which Hornytown, North Carolina is not. There's a Rough and Ready, California.
Wow.
So if I can live in Rough and Ready,
you can live in Hornytown.
Hornytown, yeah.
Okay. I'm kind of hearing.
which one?
I'm hearing like a song right now, kind of sung to the tune of "Funky Town." That's sort of like going on right now.
We can workshop it.
Yeah.
This is not this time for that, though.
It's not the time to play. We're here to help Rachel. Okay,
Put that on the parking lot.
That's right.
Put it on the whiteboard. Put it up there.
All right, and on sticky note. Rachel says, let's see. I've been with my boyfriend for 3 years. I'm 18. He's 23. He's the only one I've been with intimately. We have a pretty healthy sex life, but lately he's been trying to introduce new ideas into the bedroom. In particular, he wants to put a ball gag in my mouth with my arm strapped to the headboard of the bed while we have sex. I'm not sure I'm comfortable with this, but I don't want to come across as prudish or not open to new ideas. I truly love him and want to marry him someday. What should I do? Asked Rachel.
Okay.
We need to unpack this one a little bit.
Lot,
There's a few
lot,
things in here.
lot to unpack here. Okay.
All right.
I would like to start with some math.
I'm
Okay.
gonna go there. Yes, let's do it.
So,
18.
We've got a couple numbers. So we're going to start with the biggest number, 23.
Right.
Okay, and so that is the boyfriend is 23.
Yes.
She is 18.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a 5-year difference.
Yes.
They've been together 3 years, which meant that they started dating when she was 15. Oh, he's a statutory rapist. That is what we're talking about right now.
Yeah. So we're talking when they first started dating. Can you even call it dating when he's 20 and
No,
she's 15?
When you first started being statutorily abused by this because at that point he was 20, so he was absolutely an adult.
Right.
Yeah. So like.
So
Okay,
my first question, my counter question is, where the hell were your parents when you were 15 dating a 20-year-old?
Right.
Let's get that one out there.
I mean, I'm glad she has a pretty healthy sex
That's-
life, but I mean, at 18, she's worried about having a healthy sex. It's just, yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Okay. So the age, clearly, there's
Yes.
something going on with the age.
Yes.
Then moving into the, we'll call it the ask of what he's looking to
The
do.
ask, yes.
I
Into some light bondage.
I think they should.
Is
like,
a ball
my
gag
advice
still
would
light
be, like-
bondage? Actually, I want to ask that really quick.
I would say start off friggin' slow. Okay,
Yeah.
like before going full dungeon master, like try out friggin' like a blindfold or some fuzzy handcuffs or something.
Brutal master.
I mean, like ball. I mean, like I mean, I have always said never knock a ball gag until you tried it, or never look a gift ball
gift
gag
gag
in the
until
mouth.
you in the mouth.
never look a gift ball gag in the mouth. I forgot how that goes.
I don't know. It's
But
probably something.
again, no, you start off slow.
Yeah.
And the thing is with so I would say, obviously the first thing you want is affirmative, positive consent, right? You want to get that. But I would caution against going right to the ball gag, because when you have a ball gag in, it's nearly impossible to say your safe word, and that's how I lost my left nipple. So, like, if you can't, if you're not able to say your safe word, it's bad, And I couldn't even be mad at the end. But I could not say Twinkie when I had the ball gag in my mouth. I never thought it was at the time, and you require the.
You have to set up. No, I hear you.
Yeah, it absolutely. Like
you'd have to set up.
She had no idea.
3 months. 3 months. For it's the safe grunt instead of a safe word.
Now I've got one less nipple. So
it's it's the dangers.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Just do it. Yeah, you got to have affirmative consent. You can bust out the nipple clamps and anal beads and balls.
But let me ask you about the scale here. You talk about there's the term light bondage, right? So is a ball gag still part of light bondage, or that's now crossed that line? Like, I think the fuzzy handcuffs, to your original point, is considered light bondage.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I would say, ball gag in my mouth and strapped to the headboard. Just try one of these things at a time.
Yes.
Maybe, and see if you, because it's I know she doesn't want to come across as prudish, but I'm thinking already she's taking his feelings a little bit too much into account by letting him, or by the 3 years of abuse that has been going on before in this healthy relationship.
Not a relationship.
I think we're being a little bit too concerned with his feelings on how things are going.
Fair. Yeah, he's doing okay.
Because he's committing felonies again and again and again.
Not anymore. She's 18 now, so now it's we don't know what
the statute of limitations still in effect.
But we don't know what
literally.
But we don't know what state this is. Some states are younger age of consent, aren't they?
That is true.
I'm sure like West Virginia
Absolute-
per se will have a lower.
Well, anywhere 15. So this was a statutory rape situation at some
In
point.
any state. Okay, got it. Yeah, yeah.
When it moved out of that, whether they're in Arkansas or they're in a civilized place like New York or whatever, then maybe the things have changed. But
Right, I understand. Okay, so I totally agree to start off slow. It's like start with the cuffs and kind of go from there. Yeah, why isn't the ball guy all of a sudden if she's been with her for so long? I wonder if he's just tired. I wonder if I don't know. I don't want to presume. I wonder if he just wants quieter or something. He wants to keep her quiet or something. I don't know.
He already started dating her when he was 15. When she was 15, like this is not,
But that kind of tells me it's like
she does say she wants to marry him someday. So it makes me think that she's like, there probably isn't a whole lot going on in Hornytown, North Carolina. Like I don't know what kind of prospects that Rachel has. Yeah, like she just wants to get out of Hornytown. But I don't know if this is the way to do it.
Yeah, I just wonder, and I might be taking a leap here, but I wonder like the age thing, and she's all into him and marrying him and stuff like that. Is like, I wonder if he's like, like on a control trip. You know what I mean? So he kind of like has been controlling her life.
Absolutely.
And this is like, and this is just more forms of control, like more power over her. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I'm gonna tie you up, and then you fucking knew about it. And safe word, no, screw that, and put the ball gag in your mouth. Nothing you do about it. You know what I mean?
Right. Like and you will lose a nipple. Don't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
You could be in that kind of trip.
Right.
A little presumptuous, perhaps, but that's a possible way to go.
No. I mean, I think it's I'm thinking that Rachel should not be bending over backwards, or maybe they do.
Maybe
do that. I don't.
At least that's consensual.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say so. Rachel, take it slowly. Don't do anything without firm consent.
Yes.
And also your boyfriend's probably kind of sketchy, and you should probably leave him.
Right. Yeah. And a minimum, Rachel's boyfriend, this is to you. You need to slow your freaking roll, dude, because you took advantage of this girl when she was 15, and now you're trying to like do stuff to her that to fulfill some perverse power trip.
Right.
Yeah. So play it cool. Should be intimate, not about power, right? So, just my view. I know other people feel differently who are into kind of that scene, but but start slow. Start with the fuzzy cuffs, with a safe word. Safe word's critical whenever you go into any kind of bondage play whatsoever, or S&M play or whatever it is, and then see how it goes from there. Maybe the cuffs will keep him happy. So,
but also have a safety signal in case you have a ball gag in and can't say your safe word.
Yes.
Just, okay, like something.
No, but your hands are tied. You gotta.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah, I didn't stand a chance.
Clap your feet or something. I don't know what you do.
Oh yeah, bark like a seal. I can't. No.
With a ball gag.
Yeah, I can work on it.
Yep. So
ask me next week. I'll see if I can come up with something.
No, that's good. That's good. So Rachel, again, tell him to take it slow, and safe word's important. And and if you feel uncomfortable with anything, don't do it. Don't do it just for him. He's clearly in this. Again, we fear and suspect that you're being emotionally manipulated by this guy since you were a child. Be aware of that. Talk to your friends.
Yeah,
ask them if they feel the same.
We don't.
How do your parents feel about this? It's like.
I mean, and if it makes you feel better, we don't suspect it. It's happening. It's objectively true.
This is what
we're just stating what is happening. Yeah. The details are a little bit different depending on what state you're in, but whatever it is, It is felonious. So that's happening.
Yeah, and Rachel, if you think this is the only guy that's going to love you, no, you were 15 when you met this guy. No, get over that.
Right.
This is not the only man that will ever show interest in you.
There'll be plenty more guys that want to put a ball gag in your mouth, believe me.
Yes, someone who truly loves you who want to put a ball gag in your mouth.
Yeah. Wait for the special guy.
Exactly. All right, there we go. All right, let's go to the next one. Here we go. This one's from Randall from Tight Squeeze, Virginia, asks, why do people lie about enjoying the opera? No one actually enjoys the opera, correct? So a question about the opera.
Okay, well, it is correct that no one enjoys the opera.
Okay.
I just want to say thank you thank you, Randall, for finally admitting something that I have been trying to get the world to admit forever. Opera has not been a thing for a long time. Opera died out in probably like the late 1800s, around the same
Okay.
time as the steam engine was being invented. Because with the steam engine, you're essentially like boiling water to create energy, and
Yes.
watching water boil is a lot more interesting than watching La Boheme. So I would say that that opera is one of these. It's sort of a holdover from a previous time, but it is not something that actively happens or that people can go to anymore. It is it's opera based. It's in opera's. In my understanding, is you have there is a lot of loud singing. That's normally in one of the old Romance languages, like French or pizza or
Italian. In pizza.
Pizza,
Pizza,
whatever.
pizza being language.
Whatever.
Okay, yes.
whatever that is. Yeah.
Opera sung
uh,
with pizza.
And exactly. Which it sounds silly, which reinforces my hypothesis that it's not even a thing anymore.
Okay, so I would contend that opera exists today, and people attend it, and enough people attend it that it funds
Oh, okay.
people performing opera. You've heard of the Three Tenors?
Maybe I heard them only from you.
Luciano Pavarotti, Placido Domingo,
Wait,
and
they're classical singers,
the
though.
third guy that I
thought this
never
is
remember.
opera.
They're opera singers. They're classical opera singers, I think it's fair to say. I can't remember the
can't
third
say that
guy's.
fair to say.
Jose Ferreira? Jose Carreras?
Dude, I don't know,
his
'cause they
name.
don't exist.
I don't remember his name.
Exactly. These are. It's like smoke in your mind. Like it's all bullshit. I mean, think about it. How were Batman's parents killed? They were at a night at the opera,
They
and
were at
then
a
they
night at
came
the
out
opera.
to the alley and they
Crime
got killed.
Alley,
It's like
and they got shot
Yes,
by-
they were at. They were in Crime Alley at the opera, which people
Yeah.
go to. You know, the rich people because they got for night at the opera. It's not a thing. It's just it's. I mean, obviously, right there, it's in a comic book. It's nonsense.
It's not a thing. Okay.
Game check match. Thank you, Randall, for finally saying it, having the balls to finally say.
Fair. So the
Opera,
question: why do
not a
people
thing.
lie about it? Do you think that people say they enjoy it because they makes them feel more cultured, perhaps, or more worldly?
Oh, absolutely. It's
Yeah.
the same people that like to say that they like to cook, or that they
Wow. Or like jazz,
they-
for example.
right. They enjoy jazz, or they have fun at sporting events, or
There are a lot of people. Out
they.
there We're not gonna go.
I mean, there's so many things people lie about. Enjoying ballet, dance of any kind, outside sports, inside sports, debate.
So they try to make themselves seem more cultured. People who enjoy
Right.
opera. Okay.
Right. I mean, everybody would just rather just be watching Netflix, but
Okay.
you know, we have to all pretend that we like to do. We have like to operate our own craft breweries, or sell stuff on Etsy. But
Right. Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
So Randall, I hope that sums it up for you. People do it to actually sound cooler than they are and cultured.
and they aren't cool.
That's
That's
right.
nothing.
Yikes. All right, going to our next question. You don't think the opera's a good date though? Like if you go to a woman and say, "Hey, I have tickets to the opera."
I don't think the
tonight."
opera's a thing. I would never.
telling you, there are
like, the
venues
idea-
that exist,
Okay.
and
I-
enough
I-
people
okay.
go to pay for the venue and the performers.
Okay,
of the
first of all,
opera.
I do not know that. I do not accept those as objective reality.
Okay. Okay.
Also, so I'm going to get dressed up, pay money, and listen to someone scream at me in another language.
In pizza.
I'm gonna listen to someone scream at me in 300-year-old pizza, and like,
Alright, that's
come
fair.
on, it's just ridiculous.
I think
Come on.
sometimes I was getting into
take
the
it serious.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I was taking to the angle that certain guys may do it to impress women. Make them
Right.
seem
I cannot think of a woman that would be impressed. I mean, she'd be like, "Why am I here? What are these people doing?
Right.
Why have you brought me here?" Yeah.
you're gonna kill me after this show's over in the,
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
alley.
exactly. We're gonna go out into Crime Alley. I'm gonna
And get shot by Joe Chill.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yes.
all bad news.
All right, here we go. So going to our next question. Another relationship question looks like. So I met a wonderful girl. We've been dating a year and a half. We're both 27. So good. No issues of pre-consent
Okay. So no
ages.
immediate felonies.
No, so far.
Okay,
First two
go ahead.
sentences, no far. So, wonderful girl, been dating for a year and a half, we're about 27. She's wonderful in every way, and I've been feeling that she is truly the one. However, we recently had the conversation about past sexual partners, and she revealed after some prodding that she has had 54 past partners. I was shocked to say the least. I'm now questioning everything about the future of our relationship and struggling not to see her as some kind of whore. Wow. Am I being
Wow.
shallow? Should I just try and look past this? First of all, never whore shame someone, dude. Even if you don't approve of their behavior, not cool, right?
Not cool.
Not okay, right? So, okay, so let's get to the meat of the question, though. So,
The thing
54
that
partners.
strikes me most, it's not the number itself. It's the number and how carefully she would have tracked. Like if you take someone.
are we doing
so-
math again?
Well, no. If you have someone that's just like how many partners have you had? 1.5, 1.5, or
Right.
or if
Wait,
people are
what's
like
a half?
many, type of thing. So
Yeah, yeah.
I just
What- what's-
54 is multiple baseball teams. So that
What-
means so
What's a
if you-
half?
if
Like, go
you-
back. Tell me what a half is. You said one and a. What is a half partner?
that's like the the thing in high school where it's kind of like over the pan.
Oh, like oral.
Did we-
Like
did we
oral
as
is
a-
oral half, or is it like?
exactly. Is it?
Okay,
I don't know. It
all right,
depends.
I know, I hear what
Third
you're
base and all that. It's all about
Got it.
what counts and what
perspective.
doesn't.
I get it. I get it. Okay.
But,
so,
uh,
so you're saying it's the fact that she knew the exact number.
yeah, just to
Like-
come off with 50. Like, I would think at that point you'd just be like a lot,
Right.
Right. Or but like 50 would be like hold on 50, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53,
Right.
54. Like
Right.
that's it's kind of a. Maybe she keeps a spreadsheet. Actually, that could be an OCD thing. You could do that.
That's one word for it, I guess. But like, I think again, I want to apply some math here, right? If she's 27,
Okay.
and has 54 partners, let's assume. I mean, even if we go back to 15, right? We'll go to our previous question. That's 12 years,
Mhm.
54 partners. That's like what 4.2 or 4.3 partners per year.
Yeah, something like that.
That's
There could have been a lot of group situations that your numbers
was-
can add up real quick.
I was gonna raise that. I'm like, is it better or worse?
Five or six orgies, and you are
Right.
like a Wilt Chamberlain.
I was gonna say, what if it was
Yeah.
all 54 at once, like one session? Is that better than it being over the past 12 years? Like
I
one-
don't know what the word "better" is doing in that sentence. Better how I mean, to me it just seems like I just can't get past like the 54, which makes me think there's like a binder with like Mitt Romney's binders full of women, like that you're
Right.
keeping such careful track of your sexual dalliances
Yeah.
to the point where you have to, I just maybe it's just the way my after like I don't know one baseball team you're kind of like I don't know I lost track after that, but
Right. It's a fair point, and a couple of our chatters are commenting here that our good friend Jess Sands, she asks, but he prodded because he prodded because he wanted to know. It's not the fact that he wanted the information, but Green Pants' point is the fact that she knew the exact number that was so high. She knew she's
Right,
like boom
right.
54.
Yeah,
It's
I think the fact that she's had 54
Oh,
totally fine. Like that doesn't bother me
Is
in the
it?
least. This
So
this
it's
dude
you.
bothers me though that he no, it does not bother me. Well, okay. She sounds pretty awesome, actually.
every
but
3 months
the-
she's with another dude or girl.
Okay, but meanwhile, this guy's dropping the word whore right into his email.
Right. That set me
So-
off. Like, this dude not cool.
So-
Like,
So it's like, am I being shallow? Okay, maybe not being shallow, but you are a
well, the
dick.
fact that you called her a whore, yeah, is
Right.
yes.
It's yeah, it's still it's dickishness. So
Yes.
I mean, but yeah, like so she had so yeah, are you being shallow? No, you're being curious, I guess, but also incredibly judgmental. So
Right. I
um,
agree. So, but I would think too. So he's all into her, right? Because that's how he starts off his question. He's like, "Oh, I love her. She's the one." Blah 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 blah. I mean, I wonder if a component of that is, probably the sex is fantastic because he has experience.
experience.
So she probably takes very good care of him, is my guess, and he's probably loving every minute of that. But yet, when she hears the reasons why she's so good, now it's a problem, right? That's a
I don't
presumption
know.
on my
This
part,
guy's his just reading in the prose here. It starts out, she is wonderful in every way.
but yes,
So it starts out so like he's speaking so highly of her,
Yes.
and then he actually says, okay, well, I had to prod her to get her to give. So now he's being like a bit more aggressive, and then he just drops right down into the lower register with whore.
yeah,
So and this is all within a paragraph.
right.
So to me,
I almost think that
I think-
she shouldn't marry him. You know what I mean?
absolutely
She should dump
no.
his
I think
ass.
Percy from Climax, Michigan,
Yeah,
is kind of a dick.
Yeah.
And yeah, so Percy, get your own shit together first.
seriously,
And,
you can't be with someone else till you get your own shit together.
right.
You
And
know? Figure it out.
and
Percy.
certainly not with this very wonderful partner that you have. and
Wonderful.
Lots of experience.
And also, I'll point out
Sounds
the obvious
Like
sex.
a wonderful, lovely young
Right.
person.
Right. I'll point out the obvious sexism that only comes in these kind of questions. That if it was a guy who said that, we probably wouldn't think twice, right? But the fact that it's a woman, people are going to be more
Right.
judgmental, I think, typically because of sexism.
Well, no, we would think twice. It's just that we would be like, yeah, which is just an opposite.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not proud of that. No. Kind of thing where I'm not proud of it, but do you feel it? It's just, oh, like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's right there. It makes me feel weird.
I kind of
But-
felt like when I heard, I'm like, you go, girl, in a way. But
I mean, I think it's fine. I'm all for the love, and this is, I mean,
Yeah.
this she loves a lot, so that's great. I
And-
just don't
yeah,
don't think Percy's necessarily the long-term partner for her.
Right, exactly. Oh, we have a question from Chad actually related to this. What is the acceptable number that doesn't give you pause? Oh, there is no number. I don't have any pause regardless of the number. I mean, if the number was absurd, like if it was the same person, 27, and she said like 400, that would give me pause because that's basically like,
Right.
okay, you're making like a career of this for some psychological reason that doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? It's like that's indicative
Or
of some
they're
other
making a
thing.
career of it.
Or literally making a career of it. Right. I didn't. Right. Fair.
It
Exactly.
could be a good, because I mean that would be yeah. It's like that could be the second question if they were like 482. Do you do this as a career?
Right.
Yes, I do.
Right. Or
Okay,
I was in
I am a
porn
senior sex
I was in
worker.
porn for 8 years. Okay, I
Excellent.
understand. Right. No.
All of these things are coming together.
Yes.
Yeah. For me, I don't think there's really any number that would give pause. To me, it was just the I think the specificity of the number being so high. If you said like 12, I would have been like, yeah, you can keep track of 12.
Right. But
I just-
keep 54.
I can't keep track of T-shirts.
And
like there's no way I'd be keeping track of 54.
And if the follow-up question was, okay, name them, and she started rattling off names like in chronological order, then that's kind of like, oh, that's kind of like, why are you tracking all this?
No, I mean that could. Yeah, I mean, well, there is that, but then you get back to the whole "you go, girl" type of,
I suppose that's true. I suppose that's true.
Yeah.
And I just identified a shallowness in myself because I felt that, like we talked about the sex work or porn question, it would give me pause, and I would probably eventually look over it, like be okay with it, but at first I'd be like, oh, you're in porn, you know what I mean? And it's not just
right.
like anything on her character; it'd be a me thing, and I'd be like, well, how am I ever going to please this woman in bed? You know what I mean? And I know that's very base and crude.
See, I would look
because
at it
it's
as-
not all about that, but
I'd use the same words, but I would have said like, "Oh, you've been in porn." Like that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like how cool is that? It's like someone that, yeah. Like why wouldn't? I mean, it's like marrying a doctor. You basically you've got it's like you got a skill set right in there. Like, like
that you can benefit
You're
from.
married to a therapist, a doctor, or
Yep.
sex worker.
Yep. Or an IT professional that can fix your computer.
Absolutely. Who can live stream it, Just you got a whole group together.
There you go. All right. So, Percy, I think we've concluded you're kind of a dick, and
Yeah,
you're kind of lucky.
you are
You're
kind of
lucky.
a dick.
You're lucky to have this girl. Yeah. So figure your own shit out and be clean about it, and be honest with yourself, and be honest with her. And don't you freaking dare marry her if you're not cool with it. I'm telling you, I swear to God, if you think you're gonna be okay with it,
I will
and
come
you're
and
not,
find you, Percy. And
we will find you. We will find you.
I will drive over to Climax, Michigan, and
I'm sure it wouldn't be hard to find you because I don't know what the population of
Yep.
Climax, Michigan is, but I'm sure it ain't big. Right? You're probably the only Percy there in the phone book. But all right. Anyway,
all right.
Percy, there you go. I
think
hope.
we-
What do you think?
No, I said I think we got one more.
We do actually. One more. Yeah, this is our last one.
Yeah.
Because I know we're running a little bit behind. So let's see. This is from Bradley from Hooker, Oklahoma. So I just visited a city that's is really into historical preservation. As such, most of the buildings are smaller, much more older than other cities. It's also prone to flooding. But they are not allowed to fix most things due to historical preservation laws. For a coastal city that has space constraints and a large population, what are your thoughts on historical preservation at the cost of present-day issues it seems to neglect for the betterment of the community? Not a relationship question.
Yeah, I think my answer is going to have a lot to do with where exactly Bradley is referring to, because I have to assume he's not referring to Oklahoma, because
Right.
Oklahoma doesn't have
Has no
anything
coast.
historically worth preserving.
It's also not a coastal
I mean,
city.
Right. It has no coast. I mean, what's it going to do? Be like,
Tornado.
It's like, hey, we were the spot of the Tulsa, race riot, which we then covered up and then pretended never happened, and
Wow.
then totally whitewashed. And
You
then
brought
the
it back
Watchmen
to-
came out, and a whole new generation of people learned what the Tulsa race riot is, and so now Oklahoma has to be like, yeah, that
Wow.
happened.
You brought it back to Tulsa.
So-
That's a good historical reference there. I
So-
love that one.
Is he talking about like that, or is he talking about Venice?
I think more than
So, you know.
Venice is my impression.
Oh, okay. So it's probably more of an economics question. So if UNESCO comes down and declares a place like a World Heritage
Yes.
site,
Yes.
I think they're making the calculus of, can we make more from stalls selling knickknacks from tourists
Yes.
than we can by knocking down this stupid Roman Colosseum and creating more parking for monster truck rallies, something like that. I mean,
Yes.
think of the I don't know if you've been to Rome,
Yes, I
but
have.
the Colosseum takes up huge amounts of valuable real estate.
Prime real estate.
You could put massive. I mean, how many unaffordable housing units could you put in
Mhm.
in a place if you just knock down the Parthenon and then why would we keep the Colosseum around for what? So we can always remember that stadiums were around, like that. I don't. What valuable thing are we keeping? I mean,
I'll challenge
you
the
can.
yeah, but I'll challenge the space constraint thing. You can always build up. What city do you know as maxed out skyscraper vertical? Not even New York hasn't. You know what I mean? There's skyscrapers that are not. Let's go up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Then all of a sudden we're in the Fifth Element or whatever.
That's right, or Coruscant. Coruscant from Star
Or
Wars.
Coruscant, exactly. Where they're just
Where they don't even know where the
mile-high
ground is
building.
anymore. It's so far down.
Right. And the traffic situation appears to make no sense. It's just things flying everywhere in every direction.
And somehow people don't get murdered. Yes.
I think I know, but honestly, I think with the the heritage, that those questions about UNESCO really kind of comes down to what do you value in your culture and all that kind of stuff, because there's a lot of places around here that have these. It's what's that little shack over there? Oh, that is where Abraham Lincoln's cobbler was born.
Right.
You're like, why is that a thing?
place.
Still? And now that just now sits in the it really kind of I think it comes down to what you value and also what you think is cool.
Yeah, right. I think
terms of
the point.
Preserving, the pyramid's cool, they're
Right.
worth preserving.
Okay. Also
know?
in the desert, so like.
Is a
Again.
desert worth preserving?
No, no,
I
no. I'm
mean,
saying since the pyramid's in the desert, it's not like there's prime land there that you're wasting. It is a
oh,
desert.
okay, yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? There's
I
plenty
was
of
gonna
other
say, yeah,
desert.
because typically in the deserts, we've done some pretty shady things in the deserts as far as
Over the years,
you know,
yes.
uh, various weapons tests and whatnot. But
Yes.
uh, that's actually where isn't that where the origin of Godzilla actually came from?
Nuclear weapons testing, yes, it woke him up, and he came with his atomic breath and set siege to Tokyo. Yes, that did happen.
As you do, yep.
As
Again,
as one does.
it's a historical history that is meant to be preserved.
Yes.
We can all remember
Godzilla.
Tokyo just got destroyed by Godzilla.
By Godzilla. I think. Actually, one of our chatters makes a good point that the New York City case that I pointed out, you can't build higher in a lot of places due to the ground competition, so that it can't support the higher skyscrapers. I guess that's
Right. Yeah.
fair.
The thing would just.
But I would think there are technological
definitely.
solutions to that, right? You could build supports lower that go down far enough. But
It's a real pain. You got to drive pylons like
Right.
all of because that's how all of Boston is. It's all reclaimed
Right.
land that
Fact,
they just
it's
kept
landfill,
dumping
right?
more dirt out,
Right.
and then but like the it takes forever to build buildings because they have to put these pylons down
Right.
until they hit bedrock.
Right.
So that could be 50 feet, 60 feet. So it's not easy. It's
And
not
that could be
cheap.
cost prohibitive. I get that. But again, to your point, it's a matter of what's more valuable to you. The place where
Right.
Abraham Lincoln's cobbler stayed, or build this 40-story
not.
building, and you know what I mean, and then have affordable housing.
Right.
So,
Exactly. And sell knickknacks.
and sell the knickknacks. Exactly. Yeah, I got disillusioned, actually. I got a quick comment on this one. So I was over there, Rome. Yeah, we went on a trip to Rome, but then we kind of went through the Mediterranean. We wound up in Turkey, Kusadasi, Turkey, I think is what it was called. And we went to some ruins there of like the old city and the Byzantine Empire, left over and that kind of thing. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. They just kind of found this stuff, But then they have a placard, they say, oh, the explanation of this site and how it came to be, and it's just kind of showing the history.
Right.
When they first found it, it was literally a pile of rocks. Like, like when with the exception of like Pompeii, that kind of got flash frozen when the lava flow came.
Right.
Like, these
Right.
cities don't get like, okay, freeze and then dirt comes and buries it. No. It all gets wrecked and everything's knocked over. It's a pile of rubble.
Right.
And then the dirt comes and piles it over. And then people dig it up and say, oh, what was this? Oh, this looks like it kind of fits here. Let's put that there and then put this here and then rebuild
Right.
it. They rebuild it, So it's not the original way it actually was, back then.
Well, no. I mean, I guess. Well, it's that. What is that saying? It's like if you take a ship and
The ship of
like
Theseus?
after it's been rebuilt, how many different times is it still the same ship?
Is it still the same ship?
You
And
know?
is it still a historical site for preservation? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
Yeah, I think that we have a near equivalent of that, like the Constitution, right? That's back to your reference in Boston Harbor, right? It's like a lot of that ship's been rebuilt, right? But I went there once, and the tour guy told me, it's like, well, as long as the keel and some percentage of the original wood remains, it's still a ship or something.
Right. So says the Shipwrights Union of Guild Masters of Boston, who's decided, well, if
You're
your
darted
keel
aboard
is
and
like, as long as 2/3 of your keel is still there, you're good to go.
Right.
Like, sure.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And now
So-
one can contend we have things like digital records, like photographs and videos and stuff like that. So it's like you can kind of
Right.
preserve some of these things in other ways,
Yeah.
So I got pretty retrospective on this one. So Bradley, I hope that clarifies that for you. I think but I do think that people have had conflicts with this concept, like, oh, I want to redo my roof. Oh, you can't because the building you live in is a historical. You know what I mean? So you have to live
Right.
with your leaky roof. Sorry, So people have that real
Or
struggle.
I want to go down and see the Titanic, but I want to do it in a really, really unsafe submarine. Is that going to be okay? And then you all die.
Too soon, but yes.
That's like
Yes.
that just seems like something that'd be rough.
Yes. No, agreed. So, all right, well, there we go, and that's our fifth question. What are we up to? Oh, you know what? It's time for speed round.
Oh, okay. I think I'm up. for
And
speed
you're
round.
up. Yeah, you're up this time. So let me get our timer ready.
All right.
Don't know why it says that. I don't know why a timer says 6 seconds. So let me clear that out. We're gonna go for. You're gonna have 1 minute Green Pants, to answer the questions. And the timer will start. So for those of you who don't know, the speed round is we're going to throw 5 rapid fire questions to Green Pants. He has 1 minute to answer them all. These are random ones that we get about people looking for quick advice or opinions on things. So be mindful of your time, Green Pants, because we can do exposition after, but you got to get the answers out there. And the timer will start when I finish reading the first question, just like Family Feud. Okay. So here we go. Your first question. Are you ready?
Yes.
Excellent. What is the weirdest fact that you know?
Ducks have corkscrew-shaped penises.
Do you still sleep with a stuffed toy?
This is not a stuffed toy. This is Bunsen, and he is my best friend, and he's a good listener. Go fuck yourself.
What do you think people will be?
Next question.
What do you think people will be nostalgic for in 500 years?
An atmosphere.
Fair. What would you rather, a glass of water dredged from the Potomac River or a bottle of root beer? What would you rather drink?
Ooh. Potomac dredge water isn't great, but root beer does taste like the liquid equivalent of a war crime. So
I'm
gonna
offended by this question.
Potomac dredge water.
Okay, fine.
Yep.
Last question. What is the sexiest name you've ever heard?
Oh, no doubt, my poor name. Buttons Sandstone. First name for Buttons Sandstone. First pet, first street I grew up on. Put them together, Buttons Sandstone. You know that guy. Fucks. Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, we're at time, so we made it. Fantastic.
Did I make it? Nice.
Yeah, you did. You made it. I'm actually kind of happy about that. So we have 1 second left, so let me get the timer out there. So okay, let's touch on a couple of these things. So I kind of knew about the corkscrew penises, but does that mean when they mate they need to, and then when they're done they need to undo back the other way?
No, it doesn't actually work. There actually is some weird like kind of biology to it of like the because they look really, basically it looks like a little tentacle is what it looks like. And it's
I've never seen a duck dick before, so I guess I don't know.
Yeah, you can look it up. I would definitely look it up. I mean, I do all the time.
Wait, what?
Yeah, there's a bunch of just interesting, avian reproductive stuff going on with ducks.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So, what's the name of your little that you claim is not a stuffed toy again? Was that your friend that you have there? What's your friend's name? Yes.
This is Bunsen.
Bunsen. Okay.
Bunsen has been with me since 1976. That is when I was 1 year old.
That's the same freaking bear.
That is the same bear.
1 year
this
old.
Bear has been sewn together so many different times from so many injuries and stuff. And he's a very good listener. He's been my friend and compatriot for going on nearly 50 years.
Wow.
Keep his name out of your mouth.
Out of my dirty, dirty mouth. So, but he's like way before.
Keep his name out of your voice.
There's no.
Wait, no, not
Chris Rock. So there's no like Teddy Ruxpin kind of capabilities.
Are you trying to say Teddy Ruxpin? Okay.
Teddy Ruxpin.
First of all, Teddy Ruxpin is a plastic hack piece of shit 1980s toy that never really loved anybody. All it was a plastic tape deck stuck in it. It lied because it was a tape deck stuffed into a plastic bear. I had thought my Teddy Ruxpin was alive for the longest time, and when
you had a Teddy Ruxpin while you had the Bunsen, didn't they get jealous?
My parents gave me my parents gave me a Teddy Ruxpin, and Bunsen was like the fuck,
right?
And then the Teddy Ruxpin like talked and whatnot, and I started to get I was confused, and so I went out into the garage and I got a bat and I just smashed the Teddy Ruxpin until it was just all component plastic parts and stuff.
Okay.
And I was like, see, this.
There's no love here. There's no love in this.
Yeah.
It's just
I felt the same way when Yul Brynner's face came off in Westworld, and you're like, oh my god, he's a robot. It just was never. Nothing can replace Bunsen.
Yul Brynner was in Westworld, was he?
You're
thinking of the guy that looks like Yul Brynner, aren't you?
Oh, and in the original 1970s Westworld?
Oh, I see what you're saying. I thought you were talking the modern movie.
No. This was originally Michael Crichton wrote
Yeah, I'm with you.
That was the original one.
The original Westworld.
They
No,
had-
I'm with you now.
hmm
All right, there you go.
Like-
Put out the old Brunner reference. Love it. Original Westworld. All right, so what else did we go? Nostalgic for 500 years for atmosphere. That's fair. It's a very good clean air. I think would have been it's definitely
Air at all.
Um,
I mean, I'm not like.
so we're gonna try
yeah,
to Mars. You think?
I don't know. I just have a feeling it's not going to be great.
And you don't
Like,
want to be alive to
like-
see it, do you? If it gets that bad.
No.
Because we had this
Oh,
question.
no,
Remember the
I-
zombie apocalypse thing? You're like, no, I wouldn't.
Oh
survive
yeah.
it. I
I'm
don't
already.
wanna live with a
I'm
zombie
biting down on the cyanide
Okay.
tooth. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely not. Yeah. That's why I said I always like that in the movie Escape from New York, where before
Snake
they put the
Plissken.
people in New York, they give them Snake Plissken. They gave him the option of, do you want to just kill you now? And they go in, like, and they get like a bolt to the head or whatever, and they're So it's like, yeah, why not?
That's great. Okay, and
I forgot where
and
that came from.
this is the question you insulted me with: is the root beer? I like root beer. I actually enjoy root beer. It's one of the few non-water drinks I actually drink. Root beer.
Mhm.
And you clearly have some
Who's-
strong thoughts on root beer.
Who's gotten you to say these things? Like,
Do you want me to
you might
blink?
as well be saying you like Moxie.
Should
Like,
I
is that? Do you
blink-
also like Moxie?
Should I blink twice if I'm under duress or something?
Is,
Like, what's
it, is Big Root Beer
People like
behind you?
Moxie.
Are you being
Am I being? I'm being blackmailed by Big Root Beer. Yes, they took my
Justin
children.
Cole like Moxie?
Oh, really?
I
You're a friend of
believe.
ours from?
Yeah,
I know a friend that
I
drinks
think. Oh,
Moxie.
yeah, I think you have to be from Maine
One,
to like
one of
Moxie.
our chatters likes Moxie. Zarquan likes Moxie. And
Really?
Yeah, our chatter in Salmon also likes Moxie. Yeah. Some people like Moxie. Yeah, this you and the opera. It's like, I'm telling you, Moxie and opera are actual things that people enjoy and pay money for.
I don't want to live in that world.
Okay. maybe you
mean-
were shunted to Bizarro World while you slept last night or something.
People also pay really good money to see a donkey show, and I'm just not completely interested. Just not my thing. So you can go have your Potomac sludge water. That's fine. Go
Right,
do your
there you
thing. I mean,
rock on.
have you ever seen German porn? It's like
Yeah.
messed up. It's a lot.
It is. It is.
But I mean,
It's an
it's
experience.
it's better than other things they've done in the past.
Yes.
So
Yes. Cool. And then what? Can you remind us of your porn name again?
my porn name is Buttons Sandstone.
Buttons
it is
Sandstone.
the name of my first pet, which was a dog, Buttons.
Yes.
And then grew up on Sandstone, or one of the mini streets I grew up on, because I was shuttled around like a poor orphan child or something.
Is it your first pet? It's supposed to be your first pet. Okay.
Yes, it's the name of your first pet and the street you grew up on.
Okay.
So what was your first pet?
Sammy. Is a fish.
Sammy. Yeah. Okay. And what was the name of your
I grew
street?
up on Manhattan. Oh, you know what? That kind of works. Sammy Manhattan.
Sammy Manhattan.
That's a pretty good porn name, isn't it?
Sammy Manhattan and his giant cock. Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Buttons Sandstone and Sammy Manhattan. It's
There you go.
a double feature. Like, it's,
Oh,
I
that's
can
great.
totally see that.
That's great. Cool.
Yeah. Back to
Alright.
back, like in Boogie Nights. Yeah. Good.
Yep.
Yeah. Brock.
Dirk Diggler.
Yeah. Dirk Diggler and Brock Tanner.
Brock Tanner. Yep.
Right,
Yes.
Be careful with your karate.
Your karate in your dojo. Oh, that's great. All right, cool. Well, I think we covered it all tonight. I mean, we covered relationships, we covered root beer, porn names, statutory rape, bucket lists, the opera,
Another
and
thing.
historical preservation and UNESCO heritage sites.
And UNESCO World
it's
Heritage Sites.
like, what else was not talked about?
And
So-
that there is nothing worthwhile of historically preserving in Oklahoma.
Right. Right, because
I have very strong opinions.
Tulsa was a big thing, and they try to
Yeah, no.
watch over it. It was
It was real bad. Like,
It was bad.
it was
it was bad.
and the fact that the the Watchmen. That's no joke. That really got a lot of people were like, oh, this, the
Yeah.
the amount of people who watch HBO's The Watch. So in the reboot of
Oh,
The Watchmen.
they learn right. They learned the history through that show. They didn't know.
So
'cause it was
yeah,
so funny.
in the very first episode, it takes place like right as the Tulsa and
Yeah.
all of these. There were a lot of complaints after the show came in. That was like, look at this woke craziness. This is never something that could happen. And the showrunners had to be like,
It literally happened.
this is history, you
Right.
idiots.
Right.
Like there were a lot of people who were like, they're not now. They're just making it up, making it seem like no, this is an actual historical event. If it was a historical event, I think we would have heard of it. Yeah, see, that's the whole thing. That's
Yes.
that.
You should have
see
heard
how
of
that's
it.
the problem?
Right.
You get how that's worse, right?
Right.
See how we're doing here?
And you were right, exactly.
And and it was there was.
The more you're
it
talking,
was-
the more worse you make it, because you're making yourself
Right.
sound dumber and dumber because it's literally history. Exactly.
But it did actually bring back like the fact of the Tulsa that is now it developed a real resurgence of it being taught in schools because so many kids and stuff. So it was like such a major plot
wow.
point of the thing. It was
Nice.
like because it was like
it was.
I mean
What was it? 1920, 1921, around there.
yeah it was Black Wall Street.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Right.
uh,
right. Like a thriving community, and the white folk
Yeah.
just came in and burned
They
the
had
fucking
they
thing
had,
down.
they had banks, hotels,
Yep.
barbershops, grocery stores. They
Yep.
completely self-sufficient.
Yep.
Um
Keep it classy, Oklahoma.
and
Yep.
yeah.
And you can and the thing is, like 1921, that was 100 years ago. Okay, so like your great grandmother,
1,000.
right?
Yeah.
Your great grandmother knew about it, lived through it. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah, like I owe.
who also couldn't vote. By the way, people forget that too. Your great grandmother could not vote. There was a time
Right.
period in her life where she could not vote because she was a woman.
My mother could not have a credit card or a bank account.
Really? When did that become a thing?
1972.
Holy shit!
1972 was when you could not get a credit card.
Credit
You had to get it
card.
in your husband's name until 1972.
Wow.
Yeah, they did not extend credit to women. It's like, this is not that long ago, man.
Right.
It's
Right.
so fucked up.
Oh, it's just your woke bullshit, man.
Well, that's what always kills me when the Supreme Court's like, we have to find a historical analog to this law. It's like there's the court case going on now where there's basically the dude who is basically firing his gun in all these different places and had his gun taken from him because he's like a domestic assault.
yes.
And
Okay.
they're like, oh well, the law wasn't written for domestic assault in mind because domestic assault didn't exist in 1776. Like,
Of course it
okay,
did. Of course
like,
it did.
and
Of course it did.
but no, they didn't have laws against it.
Oh right. Oh, I
That's
see what
what
you're saying.
so
I see
it
what
just
you're
would
saying.
not have been considered a crime.
I
Just
see
sort of
what you're
how
saying.
owning
what
a
you're saying.
person.
Yeah.
So yeah, so yeah, if they're gonna
Ugh.
continue to look back on this shit, do
Is there hope for us? I tend to think so. I hope so.
you think there's hope for us?
Yeah, I think so.
No.
I'm-
No. What? No. Oh my god, dude. Live every day like it's your last, because it probably is. Like, I mean, Annie, I'm just waiting for the flash of light. I want to see if I can, if I have a chance to see it before it literally burns my retinas out. Like, but then I'll know it's like there it is, and we're done.
And
Scene.
and the tooth.
And that's it. Didn't even need the tooth. I was literally caught in the blast that incinerated me. That's fine. Like, a T2 kind of.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Holding onto the fence.
Yeah. But that's good. I'm glad. I like that for you. I like the fact that you're still optimistic. I think
It's,
it's really
it's adorable, right? In a way.
good. Yeah.
I try. All right. Very good. Well,
Let me know how that works out.
I will. Maybe next week we'll have a talk about it.
We'll
So,
see.
along those lines, it is time for us to sign off. We've gone a little over time tonight, but that's all right. I think we hit
Yes,
some very
we did.
interesting topics, like we said, and talked about some very interesting things. So, so Green Pants, thank you again for being here, man. This is it's always great to have you here as a guest.
And every week I'm always surprised to be here, and yet
Mhm.
it just
you
keeps
are.
happening. So,
There it is. There it is. Almost like this.
one day at a time, man.
Divine purpose, I tell you, right? So, all right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna sign off. So again, check us here with our OK Seriously segment every Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. And if you're into the gaming thing, every Sunday night at 9 p.m. You'll see some gaming action. So keep onto the Twitch channel about that. And also, someone asked last time if you want to submit your own questions. All questions are welcome. We are a completely open book.
Please.
So come
Yeah.
onto the Discord channel. You'll see a channel about the OK Seriously. There, you go to the question form. You'll see the question form. Submit your question, and you can make it anonymous. You can put your name, whatever you want to do. It's optional field. So please send your questions. We love them. Please keep them coming. So it's like our lifeblood, fuels us, gives us fire.
We genuinely love them.
Love them.
You know, like if I didn't have the opportunity to read about, you know, some young person having 54 sexual partners, or you know, questions about ball gags, and
Yes.
you know, someone just openly admitting statutory rape in the, you know,
Yes.
opening. I just
The universe would be
great world
a
out
little
there.
dimmer. It'd be a little dimmer if we didn't have those things. So this is.
I think it is. Yeah, it would be a little dimmer.
So again, come and join the Discord channel and get those questions in. So until then, we'll see you next time. And remember, we are here to help.
Good night.
Take care.
Good night.